right now. Here. Down. Where you at? Yeah, you right there. I don't know what's going on with your phone there. Uh, you hear me? Live now. Good. Good. Go ahead. I had to get him taken off. I did. I thought it was in reach.
We'll do that for another day. All right. Here we go. All right. Here we go. But welcome back to another edition of Game On Sports Talk Show on Real Talk 100 Radio. Everybody, this is a brand new show. I think this is our third edition of the show, y'all. We want y'all to tune in every Tuesday night from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. right here at Real Talk 100 Radio. You can catch us live every week on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you so much for our sponsors tonight. Thank you so much, Wagons Fold USA and Happy Vibes Daiquiri. Happy Vibes Daiquiri is right here in the Greens Point area, right off of Gears Road and Walters Road, right over here, close to Greens Point, y'all. Thank you so much for their sponsorship. We usually have daiquiris when they sponsor us, but they weren't able to make it this week. We're going to try to get them in here next week talking about their product. And thank you, wagonsfoldusa.com, one of the best baby strollers in the world. Shop wagonsfoldusa.com tonight. Welcome, everybody, to our show. What's up, Arthur, man? What's going on, my man?
Man, it's going to be a great day. We are going to talk about the dark horse and the dark side of the NFL.
The dark horse and the dark side
That's
of the
right.
NFL. I like it. The way it
That's
sounds
right.
already,
That's
man.
right. Let me put this out there, if I may. I'm going to put this out there real quick, guys. We're going to talk about this in a few minutes. I want to hear what you guys have to say. This is if there's ever a show to call in, this is the show. So I'm going to read you a couple quotes real quick. New England Patriots, Matthew Judon, retweeted a post at both the NFL and the NFL officials. It was a picture, an AI-generated picture of Patrick Mahomes kissing a referee. And basically what he was insinuating is that there's preferential treatment, and when certain star players play, they're not calling penalties. They're the 12th man on the field, so to speak. Following that, last year, Arian Foster made a comment while on a podcast excuse me, where he actually said that in a recent episode, he said that we were dedicated to the script provided by the league. He went on to say that's what practices was about. It was about practicing the script. This is what goes on, and this is what we do, or what we have to do. It's kind of like the WWE. So it's more sports entertainment than the NFL. There's that picture live, guys, if you can see it. So we're going to talk about that. We have a few things to talk about today. First of all, some sad news coming out of the Astros. One of their former managers has passed away. And I'll get that just 1 second here.
I don't believe this picture, man.
No, it's AI generated, but yeah. So today, Jimmy Williams passed away. He was with us in the late 90s, early 2000s. He was there during that, what we thought was the golden era, when we brought in Roger Clemens, Andy Pettit, all this. He passed away today at 80 years old. Condolences to his family. And all Roxas fans, or Astros fans, go out and put that on the page. I know the Astros have made a comment publicly, but from all of us here at Game On, condolences to the family. So where do you want to start? Let's give the time to get salivating over these comments.
I want to start with Pat, man. I hate that they do that to him. I mean, you have to. I saw a play where Pat was about to get hit. He was running, scrambling. You know how Pat Mahomes scrambles out of the backfield. He scrambled out of the backfield, and they were playing Baltimore. And the cornerback, Pat's running. I'm Pat, y'all. I'm Pat. I'm running out of the backfield. I'm running towards the sideline, not straight to the sideline, but I'm running at an angle. And the Baltimore player came up, wide receiver for Pat Mahomes, was running up on the secondary. And the secondary, instead of running towards Pat, ran and hit the wide receiver, and Pat gets the first down. If you can visualize what I'm talking about. And it made me go, damn, why didn't you go towards Pat? I understand you were going to end up getting hit by the receiver, you thought, maybe. I can understand that, but I played cornerback. I wouldn't have gave not two cares. I wouldn't have gave a damn about that cornerback, that wide receiver.
No.
He just had to crack me or something, but I was going towards Pat. But this cornerback clearly, unless it was some kind of, what do you call it, spliff, how they spliced the film or something?
Man, no, I don't think so. Because here's the thing, man. He was past the line of scrimmage. So there's no throwing the ball. It's a fire drill. You go after the ball. That's the game. Whoever's got the ball, your job is to put that person on the ground or get him out of bounds.
That's right.
So, but I mean, another thing. Look at what happened over championship weekend, right? Detroit Lions were killing in the first half.
Yes, sir.
And then what happened? And then what was funny, a comment got said to me, and I'm not going to say who, but a comment got said to me by someone around the league, and the comment was, it's funny, right when the odds changed, momentum changed in the second half.
What do you mean odds? In Vegas?
Yes, sir. Now, look, I'm just putting it out there what's being said. I don't know for a fact. I wasn't there. I'm not an NFL official. I'm not a member of the NFL in any capacity. I'm just reporting what's being said, what's out there, and there seems to be quite a bit of some serious upset towards the NFL and NFL practice. I know this year was one of the worst years in officiating that we've seen in a long time, but it's enough to make you sit back and go, So I'm not a conspiracy theorist, guys, but not by any measure of the word. But it is very interesting that in these championship games, when it is win or go home,
right,
and you have coaches like Dan Campbell,
Right.
right? MCDC does not back up, right? Look at the culture he's built with the Lions. Those guys are whoever's got the ball we're going to break them or we're going to get it, one of the two. And how do you just magically wave the wand? I mean, we're talking Harry Potter here,
Right. That's what it seems like. I mean, like just the momentum. Like, well, who was that? Was that Baltimore? What game was that? It was Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit, San Francisco.
24 to 10.
Oh, Detroit could do no wrong in the first half.
And then they come out fumbling and bumbling, and it's 24-24 almost instantly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, come on, man, are you serious? How does that happen? I mean, I know stuff happens. Tip drills happen. Mishandling of a mishandling of a punt, a mishandling of a kickoff, but not a 17-0 run. That happens in basketball, but not in football.
No, you're absolutely right. And the funny thing is if you look at the way that the Vegas odds are now, and the way you can not just talk about first downs or score, but they're getting into abilities and yards per carry and broken tackle, all these things, and these guys have made it into a science, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we've heard year after year. Back when Earl Campbell and the boys played the Lovey Blue Days, there was these comments. Hey, it's scripted who's going to win, right? So this is something that's reared its head. It's been rearing its head for probably the last part of the better at least for the last 20, 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And now it is a little more, hey, what's up, Mike? What do you think, man? Dial that number. Get your butt on his radio and let's talk about this. I know you and I were talking about this earlier.
Mikey's one of your workout partners?
No, he and I work together.
Okay.
And we're friends. So, but I do want to talk about that a lot because if nothing else, it makes for great conversation. You look at the love that the commissioner gets from around the league. He goes anywhere, he is booed consistently and constantly. So it makes me wonder. What do you think, Houston? What's your thoughts? What are your thoughts? What is going on in the NFL?
What's going on in the NFL, man? I love the game, man. I love the game. I've said it plenty of times before. I love the game from high school all the way to the NFL. I will follow a player from their high school. I will go and watch the football game. I will watch them all the way through college, and I will watch them go all the way to the NFL. And I would hate to believe that something like this is happening. Now, I know gambling happens in football. I don't see how point shaving can happen, not when I'm sitting there watching it. But as I've already mentioned, some of the things that happen in the league make you scratch your head. Like, what in the hell was that? How do you allow another team? How do you change your philosophy, coach for the Lions? What's his name? Help me. Coach Campbell. How do you change your philosophy so much in one half of football that you allow the other team to go on a 17-0 run?
That's no joke because we've seen, everybody talked about the Lions defense, where they were weak, right? There's a reason because they do have, like every other team, there's weaknesses in every team, right? They talked about it, right? So the Lions have been backed up against the wall this year many times. And that's when coach, gets that huddle together. The captains on the team get the huddle together. They tighten it up, and they go for broke. And what do? They continue to win, right? Like everybody was questioning during the game with Coach Campbell, why did they stay on the field? Because he put his best players in his best opportunity to win.
Yes, sir.
That field goal, there's a lot of people in the world that will armchair. Hey, man, you should have kicked the field goal and gone for the onside kick. The onside kick, how often does the kicking team get that ball? 20% of the time,
20% of the time.
So that's not a high efficiency thing. His offense has pulled it out with some very hardworking young men all season long. So I don't see the issue there. But like I said, there is some very I don't know, man. It's just football there's an easy way, if it were scripted, because you played the ball, you played ball, I played ball. Once you're in that groove, you're in.
Right.
And you don't go from that to being playing perfect and all of a sudden now we can't catch the ball. Now we're dropping snaps. Those things can look bad.
Right. Very.
But those are things that you can also, it's kind of hard to make them once you're firing on all cylinders, right?
Yeah.
I mean, look at the Houston Oilers versus the Buffalo Bills.
34 to
You know what I mean?
6 or something
It was
like
it was
that.
like 100,000 to 0, and they came back and lost.
Right.
It's like, are you
I
serious?
and Tom Brady. Let's go to the Super Bowl against Atlanta.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
It was I believe it was 34 to 10 or 34 to 7, 34 to 6, something like that. Now, I'm a gambler, so I'm happy because I had taken 10, 11, and 12, I think, in Atlanta. I knew they were going to fight. So I'm happy. But when they started eating up that lead, I'm going, man, what happened? I mean, next thing you know, I think what did they win? What did Tom Brady win? Like 41 or 37 or something like that?
I mean, you know what? I don't even know. What I remember the most at the end of that game was how much money the house made in Vegas.
I was happy.
Because I mean, come on, man.
I ended up winning both ways. Check out what I did. I already had 10, 11, and 12 in Atlanta. Vegas. I don't know if you've ever gambled before. Anybody gambled before in Vegas, but online. Now that Atlanta's up 34 to 6 or whatever it was, now Vegas decides to give Tom Brady 9, 10 points. And I was like, you crazy. I knew he was going to come back and win. Excuse me. I knew he was going to come back and make it a game. Did I think he was going to come back and win? No. I just thought it would end up, 40 to 20, 40 to 37 or something like that.
And not to mention the fact was pound for pound, Atlanta had the edge minus Tom Brady.
Yeah.
All day long.
Yeah.
And some of the things that happened for some of those turnovers were stupid turnovers.
Very stupid.
And that's kind of where you're like, what's going on? So, hey, real quick, I'm also live on my Facebook. So I see a lot of people. I see Rudy Capello, Ty. Hey, man, y'all get on the show. There's a link on my page. Quit watching me. Get on the show. Come on. Let's talk about some football. We're going to talk about some Rockets in a little bit because the guy that calls himself the King came into that small market Houston Rockets and got spanked, which I enjoy because I'm going to tell you right now, forget the King. I follow his airness. Michael Jordan over LeBron all day long. That kid wouldn't last with guys like Bill Laimbeer in the league. They'd have broke him.
You think so?
Are you kidding me? Hey, how many times Bill Laimbeer get fouled out of a game for punching people in the face, driving to the lane? It was a different league, man. They played – that was rough ball.
I'm gonna put the game up. What he's talking about right here. There it is on the screen. 135 to 119.
Yeah.
Houston Rockets over the LeBron-led Lakers, y'all. LeBron James came to H-Town and got spanked. Hey, man, I loved it. But hey, this GOAT thing with LeBron and Michael Jordan. Hey, man, I think you might be right. It was more physical, but I think LeBron is built for physical.
Well, true, but see, you can't foul nobody or hard check nobody in this league. There have been plenty of guys like, he'd had to play against guys like Malone or Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley would have wrecked that guy. Charles Barkley was violent in that paint. He didn't care. Or you go up against someone like Hakeem Olajuwon. Yeah, you're not, no. And not saying he would have been a great player. Obviously, LeBron James is a phenomenal player. He's a player for the ages. I just take Michael Jordan over him all day long. Because he's baby Mike, right? He lives in Michael's shadow. He has to wear number 23. He had to go get him a shoe deal. Has to recreate Space Jam. I mean, how envious you got to be before hey, man, look. If LeBron just got over that crap and became his own man and started worrying about LeBron, nobody'd make those jokes, because he kept on and on. I remember one day, a few years ago, right after he went to Miami and all the hubbub about, leaving Cleveland the way he did and the crybaby commercial and what did you want me to do, blah, 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 blah. Shut up. Well, he starts, I can be, and he's talking to a reporter and he's just out of nowhere like, I can beat Michael Jordan any day. Okay, well, Michael Jordan's like 25, 30 years older than you. And so a reporter walked up to Mike in Chicago. He was doing a thing with some kids, playing some basketball with them. And he says, hey, Mike, did you hear what LeBron said? And he said, well, tell LeBron I keep a pair of sneakers and a pair of shorts in my car. Tell him, let me know. And that call never came.
That call never came.
No, that call never came. Because Michael Jordan, he was an assassin on the basketball court. He went at everybody.
Yeah, I know it.
Even Hakeem Olajuwon.
I know it. I know it. We have your friend Mike C tuned in from YouTube, everybody. And Mike says, yes, sir. MJ over LeBron.
You go.
He said, I love it as well. LeBron is nothing. He said, Kobe puking him. Kobe punking him when he got to the league. He's an overrated player. I do not believe that he is as good as people think he is. He's just a whiny little you know what.
And to go back on what Mike's saying, the other day we were watching Kobe's first couple of All-Star games, 19-year-old kid, and he's going right at Jordan. And we're watching them two basically put on a scoring show. Karl Malone's in there. All these huge stars, and Kobe was a special player, was a special person. I would put in the area of Michael Jordan all day, and it's not just his basketball skills; it's his, what he did in the community. Kobe to the day he died was helping people in the community. So God rest his soul. He is someone that's always going to be missed. But that Rockets game, check this out, guys. Jalen Green went off for 34. Sengun got 31. It's at halftime they were up by 30 points. They had taken the Lakers. And that was the second time, apparently, that they had gone on a 20-5 run with 10 minutes left, and they just started kicking them. So, we got Green second overall in the 2021 draft. He's starting to come into his own. LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and D'Angelo Russell scored 23 points apiece for the Lakers, but it could not stop the. What was that score again, Coach?
135
to 119.
135 to 119 right here on the screen, everybody. Our team went off. You're from Houston Rockets. If you're a Houston Rocket fan, please feel free to call in. The call-in number is on the screen. Let's talk about the Houston Rockets' huge win over the Lakers. We won a total of 22 games last year, and we're already at 22-24. I think they're doing admirable. Congratulations to the Houston Rockets. So far on the season, y'all are balling, y'all.
Hey,
y'all are balling.
Yeah, they did good. I mean, Whitmore came off the bench with 20. Jabari Smith came out, had 18. They played really well. Now, there was some drama in the game between Brooks and what's his name from the Lakers. He wanted to get a double technical, and of course, afterwards they were asking Brooks, "Hey, why was he getting physical with you?" And I think the guy perceived that Brooks was doing something on purpose to ag him on. But
Louis De La Paz.
Yo, what's up, Louis? Man, give us a call. Hey, there you go. We're talking with the Rockets there, but man, give us a call. Talk about the game. Nobody wants to call us.
Nobody wants to call us. They'll warm up to us sooner or later. I know they will. But back to LeBron and Jordan, man. I love Jordan. I have nothing against Jordan whatsoever. The man had a heart of 10 lions. I'll never forget the game when he had the flu and came out and still balled out. They had to carry him off the court. I remembered all of that.
Wasn't that the 63-point game?
I can't remember. I just know it was in Utah and Karl Malone. I can't remember.
Hey, somebody help us out with that. What was the game? Michael Jordan was sick as death. And who were they playing?
Call-in number is 832-560-2885. This is a brand new show on Real Talk 100 Radio. It's called Game on Sports. Game on Sports will be airing live every Tuesday night from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. right here on Real Talk 100 Radio. You're more than welcome to call in on topic. This is our cast right here. This is the flyer on the screen. Y'all feel free to call in tonight. We're going to start having sponsors on the show. We're going to start getting, hopefully, some people like the Rockets to come in here, maybe the coaching staff, somebody come in here, somebody from the Texans, somebody from Foot Locker, somebody from the local high schools, Pee Wee League football. We're going to start having the community up in here as soon as possible. But tonight, it's all about LeBron and Kobe talk. It's all about NFL. Is it really cheating in NFL? Every week on a game, we see, they're cheating. They're cheating. The refs are cheating. They want to see the big market teams win. They don't want to see Baltimore win. They don't want to see Detroit win. They're cheating. They're cheating. So that's a topic. Are they really cheating? Are the refs really cheating? Are the refs getting word from the higher ups? From I forgot the chairman's name of the NFL. What's his name? Is it Goodell? It's not Goodell anymore.
Roger Goodell. That's correct.
Goodell hollering down from the stands and saying, all right, that's enough scoring by Detroit. We need to start throwing them flags on everything they do.
Are we watching another version of the WWE? That is the question. Real quick before we go any further, I want to say a huge congratulations. God rest his soul, Ken Caminetti. He and Rene Cardenas were voted into the Astros Hall of Fame, which is really awesome. I know his youngest daughter was getting married this weekend when they got the news. I know Biggio had a lot to say. That he said, I think it's really special and exciting for him and his family and his girls to be able to have their dad go to the Houston Astros Hall of Fame, where he played 10 years of his life and was a great player for us. He was probably one of the best third basemen we ever had. He was just if you go to the game, I know I went to the games a lot back then. He never walked away from a kid wanting a ball signed or whatever. And I think one night after the game, he was out there 2 hours signing autographs and taking pictures. So posthumously, obviously, for Ken Caminetti, but congratulations. Congratulations to Lindsay, his daughter Lindsay, on her wedding. And congratulations to Rene Cardenas to be voted into the Astros Hall of Fame. Okay. And something cool about Rene, obviously, Spanish speaking announcer. I think this is the first one that I've heard of from any of our organizations here in town where they put them in, whether it's the Ring of Honor or their Hall of Fame or what have you. So huge congratulations. I know the Astros staff is pretty happy about that. And in a little bit, we're going to talk about some guys that the Astros have brought back in. They're starting to make some noise, bringing in different players. So
love it, man. Love it, man. I hope they go right back to the World Series of sports. I know this is completely off subject, but you gave me some notes. Did you take them back?
they're right here. You want to look at them?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, we're also going to talk about the 2024 Cuban International and the international draft. The Astros, man, they picked up 7-8 players
in the international draft.
Down on the bottom of that page. So we're going to talk about that as well today. So we got a lot to talk about. The question is, I see people tuning in here on my Facebook. I see Roxy Perez. We need to get her up here. She is a model. She's a small business owner. She does a lot of really cool stuff. We did a God of War thing years ago. We're going to try and use that to benefit cancer kids. She was one of the first person to respond. Arthur, I'm there. Let's go. So Roxy, I see you, but maybe you need to get on this TV with us or get on the phone and talk to us.
Yes, please.
And let's continue the show. I see Lupe's over there. For some reason they're on mine, but they're not on the page. That's okay.
They're not on the page? No, they'd have to go straight to the page to see us. They're not going to see the page.
No, I'm live on my Facebook.
Okay. Thank y'all for tuning in, y'all. I have the flyer up for what you're watching today. It's called Game On Sports Talk Show. Like my co-host Arthur has already said, if you're into sports, if you're into the Texans, if you're into the Rockets, if you're into the Astros, we want you on the show at some point. We want to talk to you. If you can't get to the show, that's fine. We have a call-in number, and the call-in number is scrolling at the bottom of the screen the entire show. It's 832-560-2885. I see my boy E45 Benitez is tuned in on Instagram. I know he's all about H-Town. Throw your H's up, baby. Put your H's up on the screen for me. Klepto Guns, if you're a sports fan, I know you're always supporting us. You're more than welcome to call in, and let's talk sports tonight. We're talking about the possibility of cheating going on in the NFL. We're going all around the league, going all around the board on sports, from basketball to football to baseball. We have a whole sheet of notes here about what the Astros are doing in the offseason, gearing up for the season. We have talk about bringing D-Hop back to Houston. Would you want that? Me personally, I think D-Hop is over the hill. I think we have younger players that we can pay less, and they're just as talented or more talented than D-Hop. But these are the subjects we're talking about. If you're a Jordan fan, if you're a LeBron fan, we're kind of skipping around, and we're trying to catch your attention, guys. I'm super excited for baseball to start up. Go Astros. That's Mike C, and he's throwing up H-Town. He says that was a great game between Houston and LA. I'm so happy for our Houston team. They came out and played their heart out. Show them to show them that we can beat the best. He's talking about the Rockets the other night against LeBron. So
no, and we're only a few pieces away from having a
bona fide
a run kind of team. We need a strong center. They're looking at possibly, we broke that last week. They're looking at Griffin possibly to bring in. They're looking at a couple other centers to bring in. One of them's from the Trailblazers. So we'll see. But you know what we forgot to do?
What's that?
Saturday night, guys, we were out at the Humble Civic Center for the Humble Cook-Off. Our friends of the show, Texas Finest Smokers, put on one heck of a show. We got to hang out with International Diva, the Cuban Diva, Rob V. K-Dog was out there. The guys with the big guys, what were they called?
Heavyweight.
Yeah, the heavyweight music guys that you've probably seen them at the Rockets halftime show. They put on a great show. It was a lot of fun, good food. It was the loudest tent. They had them all the way in the back, but it was the loudest tent at the. We had a great time, and I want to say huge congratulations to that team over there. They did a phenomenal job. Man, they treated us like family, didn't they?
Oh yeah, man, that was awesome. I'm gonna put their logo up on the screen. Y'all make sure you go to the Porter area. When you're in Porter area, this is some of the best barbecue in all of the Houston area. Go and check out these people right here, Texas Finest Smokers.
Yeah.
In Porter, Texas. I don't have their address on me right now, but I'll get it up on the screen as soon as I can. But yeah, they treat us like family, man. I can't wait to do more collaborations with them. Texas Finest Smokers, man.
Not to mention, soon they're going to be in here. Right. Remember, we still have this.
Yes, sir.
We have this potato salad challenge.
Yes, sir.
And you heard his wife. She said, "Hey," Esther said, "Hey, we're gonna bring it up here. We're gonna find out." So I can't wait for that. What we need to do is maybe get, if anybody wants to join on here and talk, we'll talk about whatever. We'll get a couple taste testers come in here and join us, and we'll do a poll. Yeah,
that'd be nice. Texas Finest Smokers will be in the building soon, and we'll be taste testing their food. Their food was pretty good, but the potato salad we missed out on. We got there too late.
That's okay.
I can't wait to put it in my mouth, man.
That's okay. Do we feel anybody else, friend of the show, the Ultimate Texan? Go to NFL.com, fan of the year, vote. Voting is still open. Voting will be open up until kickoff at the Super Bowl. We don't need somebody else from anywhere else representing the National Football League except for some crazy beard braided, face paint wearing, an amazing man by the name of Steve Beckhold. That's who needs to be the NFL's representation of the Ultimate Fan. Guys, he's always out at the hospital with cancer kids or any other kids that are sick. He does a lot with the Marfan organization. Guys, go out and vote for him.
What is the Marfan? Let our listening audience know what that is.
That is a big question. You have to read it off what it is. Marfan, basically there's something wrong and it affects people different ways. It involves the heart and circulatory system. So I'm not going to muck it up. We take a small break. I'll get out here and I'll put it on and I'll read it to everybody. But what's funny is this is one of the larger groups. It's just as dangerous as ALS or MS. And the way it affects people in so many different ways, it's hard to treat. So they have to do a lot of fundraising to try and figure out how to combat this disease. So, but yeah. Oh, and don't remember in March, or don't forget, Hunter's Heroes. I'm going to be out there. We're going to drag Malcolm with us. We're going to do a walk for the Marfan organization. They're going to be raising money by the walk and by selling T-shirts. So stay tuned for that. We'll be posting that as soon as we get the chance. We'll get Steve back on here. We'll get him painted back up so everybody seems to enjoy it when he has his paint on. And we'll get him back in here with us, and we'll talk a little more about it as we get closer. But that's around the corner. We have another thing coming up very soon. We're going to be announcing. It's also in March. It is a benefit for Camp Hope. A lot of you guys know I'm a military veteran. Houston is a large place full of military veterans. The state of Texas, one of the second largest group of military veterans in the nation. And there's going to be a poker run and some other festivities. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some of the collaborators for that event to come in and have a conversation with us to tell us everything going on. But it's going to be a great event. It's for a good cause. Guys, you ride motorcycles, poker run. If you've never done one, they are a blast.
A poker run.
Yeah. It's like a scavenger hunt. You go from one location to another and you get a card.
Okay.
Right. Once you complete the task, you get a card. And then what you have at the end is your hand.
Okay.
And I think I don't know. I haven't talked to them yet. So Eric Labarge, if you're listening, call in and talk to us about it, because this would be a good time to find out how they're doing the poker run, whether it's going to be a one place winner, top 3 place, top 5, whatever. I don't have all the details yet, but I wanted to put it fresh in everybody's mind. We are going to be doing an event because there's a lot of guys. I saw Rudy Capello on my Facebook. Rudy rides in a huge motorcycle group. I know those guys love to ride. They love veterans. They love going out and having a good time. So I'm pretty sure we'll be able to see Rudy and his buddies there. And I know we'll see La Familia and Los Canales out there.
Okay. I've never been on a poker run, so this is interesting to me. A poker run. That's what you called it, right?
Yeah.
A poker. I'm not a poker player anyway, so I wouldn't know much about it. When I gamble, it's on sports only.
Yeah.
I don't do any. I don't even know the name of roulette. I got a buddy of mine. He loves the roulette thing.
That's my game. I love that.
You love roulette?
I can be on that table for hours. I'll get everybody happy. I'll even get the dealers paid.
See, I wish I knew that game. I never learned that one.
Oh, it is one of the most fun and easiest games to play because you don't take a lot of money and you don't have to lose a ton of money.
You don't? Not on roulette?
No, if you play smart, you put a $5 bet on black, you put a $5 bet on red, you're going to win one of them.
Okay.
So
I'm going to have to try it. I love gambling. But welcome to Game On Sports, y'all. Thank you. Thank you for the updates. We're going to have to get those flyers and so I can post them as we're talking about them.
Oh, we will.
So people will know, and maybe they can take a screenshot of it, or maybe we can put a link up so they can still while we're on the show or after the show, they can hit the link and go to the event, something like that.
Well, they're both drawing up their stuff now, so we will be having it probably by next show.
Okay.
So we can start putting that up.
Okay. Awesome. But LeBron fans, Jordan fans, you're more than welcome to call in. Who's the best, or is there a best? Could LeBron play back in the 80s or 90s? Could LeBron play in that league? Could Jordan play in this league? A lot of people say Jordan could play in this league, but LeBron couldn't play in Jordan's league. I think LeBron's built like a brick house, and I think he would adapt. I think he would adapt to the physicality, just like he bullies some of these guys because he's so big and strong. What is he, 6'8", 270,
like
265?
Like that. He's pretty tall, yeah.
I think with that build, I think he could adjust. No, this game isn't as physical as it was back then. But with a build like that and the way he bullies people now, I think he would adjust it.
Yeah, but think about that. Then he's gonna try and go in that lane with Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille not only put him and the ball in the third row.
Well, that's the thing about LeBron. He's not scared of the paint. He'll go in there and put Shaquille in foul trouble.
But see, that's the thing. You can't bang like you used to.
Who?
You can't. The guy watch the NBA today. Whoever's got the ball, unless he does a blatant foul, and there's a foul, it's going on the defense every time.
Because it's not a physical game anymore.
Not a physical game.
Well, that's
not let them play.
They won't let them play. Every
That's my opinion.
Every ticky-tacky foul is a foul. Every loose ball foul is a foul.
When you think about it, they had to put a flop rule in for this generation of basketball. There wasn't a flop rule back when Mike played, because if you got knocked down, somebody put you down.
Somebody put you down.
Yeah, it wasn't an accident. It was on purpose.
I agree with you, but I think I'm a LeBron fan. I'm a Jordan fan. I love them both. I hate how everybody's saying, "Oh, he was better." I really hate it. But if I had to say who was better, I couldn't. If I don't care if you paid me, I'd be like, they're both great. Why?
I'm going to quote Scottie Pippen.
Okay.
Right? Scottie got brought about the question because LeBron initiated that. Who's Mike? Right.
Okay.
So he started that conversation. Well, Scottie Pippen made a very simple comment. He said, let's put it this way. Michael Jordan won every playoff game he was ever in.
Well,
LeBron, and there you go. If Michael made it to the series, they were winning it. After the first time they got to the playoffs. I think the first time he got to the playoffs right after he got out of North Carolina, they didn't do very well. But once they got in there, and then once they got Phil Jackson, yeah, Michael didn't see a pair of taillights in the playoffs, in the finals at all.
I agree with that, but I forgot who said it, but you didn't have, in my opinion, y'all, you didn't have the caliber of athletes that you have now. You didn't have Steph Curry's. You didn't have people like I can never say his name, Antetokounmpo. I can never say his name. The Milwaukee Bucks power forward / center, which is
They did. They had the Admiral, David Robinson from San Antonio.
He wasn't near skilled as this guy.
You don't think so? Being as tall as he was?
No, I don't think David was more of a physical, a defensive player. A
Well, now
Campos.
he got the MVP because he averaged consistently in the higher end of the triple doubles and 28 plus points a game.
Yeah.
So,
but I'm talking about, yes, you had him, you had Sabonis, you had Hakeem Olajuwon.
yeah, Larry
But-
Bird, man, are you kidding me?
No, I mean
Magic Johnson.
No, I'm talking about big players right now. Big. Then we'll go to the power forwards and the shooting guards.
All right.
You had Shaq, you had Hakeem, you had Sabonis, you had
Don't forget now who came out of Georgetown.
Lonzo Mourning,
No,
Patrick Ewing.
Patrick Ewing. There you go.
You had these guys, yes, but I'm saying people like I almost said Duca. I'm sorry, Denver, big man, always MVP in the MVP talks. I can't believe I'm on air having brain farts, but they're more offensively inclined. The Denver player, Campos. Forgive me, I'm saying his name wrong. Denver, his name is somebody help me out. The Denver center, his name, he's always in the MVP talks. They were more athletic, in my opinion. Now, Hakeem was very athletic, very, very. It doesn't get any more athletic than that. But when you come to Shaq wasn't really offensively inclined if he wasn't dunking the ball. If you remember, he couldn't even shoot a free throw.
Oh, out of 13 feet, no, you're right. Outside of 13 feet, he struggled. But in that same scenario, where do these guys, modern guys, like to score? Giannis, all these big men now, they like to score within that 13 feet. When Shaq was in the league, you got that 13 feet, you were in that wingspan, and you weren't getting that ball off. And if you did, it was going to be a brick or a lucky knock-in on the average. Because Shaq was pretty good at getting them hands up. He was also really good at shot blocking.
Right.
It wasn't as good as Hakeem Olajuwon,
Right.
but he was good.
I like the defensive ways of the league when it was the players you're talking about. The Detroit Pistons, the bad boys. You couldn't get, you mentioned Lambeer earlier.
Oh, that dude broke more eye sockets.
The game is not as physical. I wish some of the game was as physical. So, excuse me. I wish the game of today was as physical as it was back then with the offense. Does that make sense?
No, sure. It would be a different game. But there again, when you take those guys that are good at that offense, because they know they're not going to get hit, they know they're not going to get fouled, they can do all these Ali, whatever they call it, from the hip shots, right? They can do that because they know they're not going to get somebody to check them. Right? You get guys like Dr. J, and Dr. J plants you.
Yeah, he would.
Larry Nance, for God's sake, he was Cleveland Cavalier, one of my favorite players. That guy was brutal. He was almost as mean as Bill Lambier.
Yes.
Not to mention, do you remember an entire bench clearing where the players went into the stands?
Was that Indiana and Ron Artest?
Ron Artest, who was a Houston Rocket for a while,
and Indiana.
Oh, yeah.
Detroit and Indiana, wasn't it? Yeah, because it was Reggie Miller.
And now there's the Reggie Miller. You're talking about a pure offensive guy, big, tall, skinny guy. wasn't great on defense. Had good hands.
Yes.
But he was pure. He was a pure scorer.
Pure scorer, man. I remember one game they were down like 12 points, and he hit 4 threes in a row. Bow, 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 and it was a tie game. I don't know if you remember that, but he was an extraordinary player. Anyway, the debate is what it's all about right now. Before we move on, LeBron versus Jordan. I hate the comparison, because we all know that the game was much more physical back then than it is now. It's more finesse game now. I just wish they could merge and we could get some kind of AI game going where Jordan and they could actually match up and we could actually see something.
So you want to do like the World's Deadliest Warriors that used to be on TV, where they would match up and put all these parameters in with pros and cons and battle it out and see who would win it all.
Who would win it all. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not meaning to ignore the commenters. We do have Kane Dong. This is our co-host, man. I wish you were in town, man, Call in, Kang Dong, man. Call in. This is our third co-host. This is him right here on the screen right here. He's commenting. He said, "Yo, what's up, peeps? What's going on, my man? We're all over the place tonight, man. Trying to get some call-ins. We'd love for if you called in first. Vote." Mike C was chiming in too on YouTube. He says he was chiming in when you were saying vote for the NFL fan of the year. He was right along with you.
Yeah.
And then Mike C came back and said, MJ is the best. He's the GOAT. He has 6 rings and LeBron has 4. There is no argument. MJ is the best, is what Mike C says. And then Mike C turned back around and said, that is true. That is true. It's no longer a physical game like it was when MJ was playing. I agree with that part, man.
Now, I agree with everything Mike said. Although, if you're going to throw the rings into it, the guy with the most rings in the history of the NBA is Robert Horry.
Robert Horry, well, he's got 7.
He was a trash player on every team. He played with the Rockets, and that man walks away with more. He's got to put him on his toes.
Yeah.
At this point,
Is it 7 or 8?
I don't know. That's a great question. Somebody look that up. How many championship rings, does Robert Horry have? Because he got one with Houston. Obviously, he got him with the Lakers.
Yes, sir.
Because he was there with Kobe and them. And he was cold from the three-point line. He was cold with somebody in his face. But that was his thing. He went and sat in the corner and waited till you passed me the ball, and he just threw money up.
And knocked it down.
Yeah, that was it.
Knocked it down, man. Him and Kenny Smith, man. I make fun of Kenny Smith almost every day. I watch him running across the screen with Shaq and Charles Barkley on NBA. What is it, NBA Live or whatever it is. But Kenny Smith, Robert Horry, then you even had Mad Max knocking down and playing defense. That was a great squad, man. Great.
Yeah, and honestly, I think the game was a lot more fun then. And not to say we want to encourage violence, but we had, characters like Charles Barkley. Love Charles Barkley. We'll always love Charles Barkley. He made a big showing here in Houston. We threw a guy through a window at a restaurant. A guy I went to school with, wound up being really good friends with him, and he's a wonderful guy, far and away. But he could be a character. And his interviews or his press conferences were, because half the time I think the reporters were laughing because he'd say, just some funny things. And I think it was just a different era, it was a different time. Let's draw a line in the sand and call it truce. I will say that without a doubt, LeBron James is going to go down in history as one of the best players to ever play that game.
Undoubtedly.
Without a doubt.
Undoubtedly.
My heart is where it is when it comes to his airness, and there's a reason. Because that guy, when he jumped, it looked like he was in slow motion. And it looked like he hung there forever. And when he do that pullback and then release, it's like, man, come on. It was like slow motion. That was just poetry.
Okay, Jordan fan. I got a question for you.
Sure.
I got a question for you, Jordan fan. Now, I've had this debate probably 100 times. I want your honest opinion, and I want everybody else's honest opinion.
All right.
When he was playing Utah, I don't know if he was sick. I don't know, but he hit a game-winning shot or a game shot. I believe it was a game-winning shot. I believe it was at the buzzer. I believe he was driving to the hole on Byron Russell. And
did the step back and
in my opinion, he pushed off to get open. He was dribbling to the hole. He and pushed him, and then faded away and hit the shot. And I believe he hit the pump.
Most definitely. Agreed.
Was that a push-off?
Yeah, but that was allowed back then.
That was push-offs were allowed back then.
To a degree, yeah. As long as you didn't knock that guy over, yeah.
That was.
how many times Bill and Beer get away with that, man? He would take that forearm and he broke more eye sockets than baseball.
Right.
In the 80s when they didn't have the specialty helmets and because that's where a lot of people get hit. If they got hit in the head, they get hit right here. Bill and Beer, him and his elbow did more damage than all of Major League Baseball.
I agree with you, man.
That dude was just a brawler.
A straight up brawler. Didn't even try to hide it, man.
Well, look this way. We got Jim Peterson came to the Rockets, okay? First time he played Beer and Beer, everybody was like, all right, here's this NHL hockey big guy, big body. This is going to be a showdown. Man, he put Peterson on the bench like that. It was over.
Bill Laimbeer was called the enforcer.
Yes, he was.
The enforcer for a reason. The man played ball. The man played ball like he was playing football Almost.
Yeah.
Bill Laimbeer, I wonder where he is right now, man.
I don't know if he thought he was playing hockey, football, or every game was the same thing. Guy with the ball dies. I don't know, but that was the way he played. But yeah, for sure. But and getting back to that era,
Okay.
Earvin Magic Johnson. A lot of these people, because of him, the and one and all those tournaments with all the tricks and the dribbles and all that. Man, who was the guys that started all that? Guys like him, Pistol Pete Maravich. And those are the two that stood out the most. Because Pistol Pete wasn't as creative as Magic Johnson with the no looks or anything, but he'd run around in figure eights and circles, drive the rest of the team crazy, and then either pass it off or go to the hole, one of the two. But those guys, it was just a different game, and it was a spectacle to go to the game. It was a spectacle, even if you didn't like the team you were in the game. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
You were probably screaming at the other guy for knocking somebody out, but it happened.
That was crazy. It was crazy. I just wish, before we move on, I just wish we could merge the two leagues together to solve this lifelong debate of whether LeBron is better than Jordan or Jordan is better than LeBron. I guess we'll never know.
Well, I'm going to ask somebody. I see on my Facebook page, my brother Jason Ames.
Okay.
I'm sure Jeff's linking around there. They own Twin House Studios. Man, the guys are amazing. We're in a movie together, as a matter of fact. Jason, come on, man. Get on. What is that number?
832-560-2885.
Did you hear that, Jason? Come on, man. Get up here. Come on. I want to hear your thoughts on the Michael Jordan, LeBron, Kobe. I don't care if you got another favorite. I want to hear something.
832-560-2885. That goes for you too, Instagram. I see we have Furious Style Music tuned in. We've got BLE Studios tuned in. Started following you. Thank you, BLE Studios, for starting to follow us. We got WC Dizzy tuned in, but nobody's talking to us. Captain 156 E45 Benitez usually always has something to say. He doesn't want to talk to me tonight. Let me tell you something about this man here. He believes so much. He's a rap artist here in Houston, Texas, and he believes so much in his talent that he put up $1,000 and challenged any artist in Houston to put together 10 songs, and they go head to head, kind of like MTV. Man, I forgot. Plenty brain farts today coming out of me. I'm sorry, but the
show that was hosted by what's his name, Mariah Carey's ex-husband.
Yeah, him. That show.
I don't know, it's like rap battles or something.
Yeah, rap battles. Anyway, he put up $1,000 and said, "Hey, you put up 10 of your songs. I'm gonna put up 10 of my songs, and whoever wins pays the $1,000." Nobody took his challenge. Nobody.
Man, you know what? We need to get him up here with some of the stuff. Put it up here.
E45 Benitez, you hear that, man? You're more than welcome to come up here. Nobody's wanting to talk tonight. Remember, guys, MJ played when he was sick. LeBron has never done that. That's what Mike C said. I know that, but when I'm talking about skill, not who played sick, who played hurt. I'm talking about skill. Who's better? Thank y'all for tuning in. Everybody's tuning in late. Thank you. Please share the video all over the world. This is Game On Sports Talk Show on Real Talk 100 Radio.
When it comes to skill, where do you put Muggsy Bogues? 5'3".
Muggsy Bogues was
ball handling skills for days.
You can't put anything past him. The man played like he was 6'5"
and 5'3".
And at 5'3",
and couldn't nobody block a shot on it, not on a consistent level.
Not on a consistent level, not at all. Muggsy, I put him up there as far as any height. I don't care if he was 6'5" or 5'3".
Yeah, Muggsy was a dog.
Even won a dunk championship one time.
I know Spud Webb did. He was like 5'7".
Right.
He was on the Hawks with Dominique Wilkins.
Yes, I remember that too. We would like call-ins. Is your boy going to call in?
I don't know. Jason, you there? Can you hear me? I'm fixing to hang up his Facebook and call him. Okay, I see Eric Labarge has joined. He's the one that was giving me the information on the Camp Hope. Eric, if you can hear me, brother, listen, call that show. We want to start getting some information. I know I asked you for a flyer. We're going to bring you on to talk about it, but it would love for us to go ahead and put that out into the community so everybody can start prepping and getting ready. I see a whole bunch of other motorcycle enthusiasts on here. So Pick up the phone there. Give us a call. That number is 832. Help me out.
832-560-2885 is the call-in number, everybody. We'd love for y'all to call in tonight because our next topic, I think we need to talk about this upcoming Super Bowl, man. I'm hyped up about it, man. I can't wait. I'm going to have to kick this conversation off. I know Patrick Mahomes. I know that team has come together like no other team I've ever seen. They started out the year dropping footballs and playing uncharacteristic of the Kansas City Chiefs, and here we are. They're back again for what is this, the fourth time in 5 years? And this is becoming a dynasty. He's becoming comparable to the great Tom Brady, man, because you can never count this guy out. He makes everybody around him better with his play. And here we are again. And I feel stupid for leaning towards, I'm a gambler though. So whatever the spread is, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm most likely going to tease it a little bit and try to give me 7 or 8 points in Frisco. I think it's going to be a close game. I don't care who wins. I think CMC is going to go off. I don't think they can handle him out of the backfield. I think Kittles is the tight end for San Francisco. I think Kittles is going to come up big. He's going to go toe for toe with Kansas City's tight end. We all know he's all world, man. Travis Kelce's a beast, man. Did you see that catch he made in that game where he was in midair and the ball was off? And
that was what I was going to say. Look, I'm not saying Patrick Mahomes is a Texas boy.
Yes.
We rep that red, white, blue of the state of Texas. But is he as good on any other team? Now, Tom Brady, dynasty, 20 years, New England. Went to Tampa Bay, won a Super Bowl. Okay. He did it with more than one team, whole different group of players. Tom Brady was winning with practice squad players.
Yeah.
Guys he met the day of the game.
You ain't lying about that. Just winning.
And as much as I love to hate that man, you know what I mean? Patrick Mahomes, I like him. I think he is lucky as can be.
Lucky?
Yeah. Look at that catch from Kelce. That was just, I think what makes Patrick Mahomes is the phenomenal play around him. Like Travis Kelce, look, that guy's a Hall of Famer. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. You like him, love him, the Swifty thing. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. That there's no question.
Okay.
However, and he's going to be up there. He's probably going to take some of the things that Tony Gonzalez did and make them forget about Tony Gonzalez because he is really phenomenal.
He is.
I mean, the Kelce family is kind of like the Watt family.
Right.
His brother, man, I hated that he's retiring. Probably the best offensive lineman this league's seen since the days of black and white TV.
Yes.
I mean, he's phenomenal. Quiet, mild-mannered guy. Travis Kelce's phenomenal.
He is.
And
without a doubt.
Without Travis Kelce to bail him out,
I don't know. I don't know because
I tell you what, let's see. Let's get him run. I don't want anybody to get hurt, but let's see Kelce sit in the first 7 minutes of the first quarter and see how far he moves that ball.
I know that's
because Travis Kelce bails him out because you always get to him, you always make him run.
Right.
And people have learned to spy him and cut off his angles where he can't go down the field. He's looking to throw the ball. You take who does he throw the ball to every single time? Travis Kelce.
He's going to find Kelce somewhere.
Because Kelce goes after him. Kelce is making, and that's the one thing that makes him, he's probably going to be one of the greatest ever at tight end because that man creates his own plays. Because he finds that quarterback and he gets to that quarterback.
Yeah.
And he does it like nobody's business. And he does it better than everybody else.
I can't dispute that. I can't dispute that because that is his favorite target. But at the same time, let's talk about it. You said just a minute ago that Tom Brady had practice squad players. Now, I don't think Mahomes has practice players, but he had a bunch of guys that you barely hear about. Like, what's this guy's name? Michael Ross, the guy that not Kadarius Toney.
Yeah, his wide receiver room, I think they average about $15 to $20 million, which is a little bit on the higher end for wide receivers. So he may not be as heard of because he's on the squad he's on.
Yeah.
Because nobody's heard of compared to.
Tyreek Hill.
Well, no, he's not there anymore. The running back and the tight end. Travis Kelce. It's a Travis Kelce show, and they have a good running back. He hits the hole at 100 miles an hour. He's a downhill runner. Plays
Pacheco.
very well. Yes.
Pacheco.
Yes. Now, but that's who you hear about because who's he doing? It's either dumping it to him or it's a free play to Kelce.
Right.
Because every time they need a first down, well, who's he go to? It's Kelce or bust.
It's Kelce or bust. You're
That's
right.
it. That's it.
You're right. I would like to see what you're saying.
I'd like to see one quarter. Hey man, Kelce, go sit on the bench. Let's see how good that boy is.
That's his safety valve for sure.
Sure.
If he can't find Kelce, he's. I don't think he has as much confidence.
Because early in them losses, there were some times Kelce wasn't in the game, and that third down conversion was not there.
True.
That's my point.
Troy Reed is tuned in on Facebook. Thank you for tuning in, Troy. This is the Game On Sports Talk Show. Troy, thank you for tuning in. Kelce is a big piece for sure.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
I agreed. I think so, Troy. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think Patrick Mahomes is that good? That he is in the same conversation as Tom Brady? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, there have been some phenomenal players.
Now,
there's some guys in the Hall of Fame that aren't in Tom Brady's. They need his zip code.
No, they're not. But
Kurt Warner's one of them.
Check this out now. Tom Brady. How many great tight ends did he have? He had Gronkowski. He had Steven, the guy that got in trouble, who was Gonzalez, was it? Hernandez. Steven Hernandez. He had Gronkowski. And
well, again,
Gronkowski saved him too.
He had a great plethora of receivers. Amendola, the list goes on and on. But Tom kept winning when it had no receivers. Because one was waiting for trial and wound up killing himself, and that was Hernandez. And then, Amendola and those guys were hurt, but look, Tom, as much as like I said, I hate to say it because he was the Texans killer forever. Like I said, man, he is the GOAT. There's no getting around that. Who do you put up against him that you could say pound for pound, throw him on any team, he's going to be successful, and do it at almost 50 years old.
At 50 years old, will Pat Mahomes do it until he's 50? I don't think he wants to play until he's 50.
No, but apparently,
if he does, though,
if you listen to the NFL and all the sports writers, especially 610, and by the way, the 610 want you guys to call in all the time. No, they run their blah blah blah, and they very seldom respond. We want you guys to come be a part of this show with us. But what do they say all the time?
Who 610?
Yeah,
I do. You got me.
It's the same old narrative that you hear from everybody else. Patrick Mahomes is a god, this, that, and the other. Brady, you put him on any team, and he's going to win. He may not win a Super Bowl, but he's going to win because that dude's a winner. Watch him walk over with brand new with Tampa Bay, walk over and snatch that center by the face mask, like back in the old days, like Coach used to do us. Grab him like, boy, you better get your head in the game.
I know there were some games where he was questioned too, though, and they ended up getting it together at the end of the season and started winning. I mean, you can't knock Tom Brady, man.
But see, 16 of them would say, "Oh, he's over the hill. He's this. He's doing good for his age."
Yeah,
man,
and he would still come out there and kill you.
That guy over here, Eric Labarge,
Uh-huh.
He has an alter ego. It's called Bad Santa. Y'all see the weight that man lifts.
Bad Santa.
Yeah, that dude is a freaking nature. He is very powerful. That is my brother. He's my brother from the Army, and I'll tell you what, that man is strong as can be. And you watch him lift, and you're like, wow.
Mike C on YouTube. Thank you for tuning in, Mike C. He says, "You are so right, Arthur. Tom Brady was doing it with practice squads, and Mahomes is doing it with his first string squad." I get it. But Tom Brady had some squads too. He had his final season. He had damn fool that took his Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, and I forgot the third wide receiver over there in Tampa Bay at the end of his career. He had, like you said, he had Amendola. At one point, he had Randy Moss. He's had some pretty good receivers too.
But think about this: 20 years in New England, 6 titles.
Yeah. And
He wasn't always surrounded by greats.
No, he
And
wasn't.
he got it done. They had a winning program the whole time he was there.
Right.
From the day
Well,
the program screwed Bledsoe over.
right, screwed him straight over. He got hurt. And
From the day
lost
that
his
happened,
job.
Tom Brady changed that team.
I agree with you, but it's the same thing. I heard the same thing when Tyreek Hill left. When Tyreek Hill left, not only the Kansas City faithful, but the NFL faithful were like, "Uh-oh, who's he going to throw to now?" You know, and look what he's done with this receiving core.
No, and look, I'm not taking anything away from the man. I'm just saying, you know, the way the NFL props him, the way everybody props him. I mean, even when he had the number, he didn't have the numbers this year to be in the MVP race, people were still talking about him being the MVP.
Yes.
Are you kidding me? No. Come on, man. CJ Stroud was whooping his numbers. Which, by the way, congratulations, CJ. We know that you got named to the Pro Bowl. Love it. Congratulations. Congratulations. He'll be there with Will Anderson, Laramie Tunsil. And I don't know how. I really don't know how that boy from Michigan did not make it to the Pro Bowl. But I don't see how Collins wasn't a starter.
Nico.
Yeah, I mean, second in the league, runs out yards after catch, and he come on.
Doesn't make any sense.
No,
doesn't make any sense how they snub people. I don't understand that either. Hey, Mike C has a question. Mike C says, "Hey guys, quick question. Do y'all think if the Chiefs lose, they will blame it because of Taylor Swift?" No.
Hey, y'all heard that room, Mike? You were there with me. Back me up on this. When we were listening to 610, we were switching back and forth, and that's when there was the rumor that if Super Bowl or before the Ravens game, that she was not allowed at the game. Now, obviously, she was at the game, but do you remember that, Mike? When they were saying she wasn't allowed at that stadium at the bank,
and she was still there.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, for some people, Taylor Swift is a. I don't know why they're talking about it on Sports Center. The Sports Center, not the dating game. You go on Eve for that and join the Kardashians.
Exactly. I don't understand it. It's not a big deal to me. I mean, we all know that the NFL. We all know that the NFL. Oh, that's just me.
Okay.
We all know that the NFL is about making money. So why not partner with some of the stars? Like you had Eminem flipping off Detroit. He's a Detroit fan. I don't know if you saw that picture, but he was flipping off all the San Francisco fans when Frisco came back. I mean, you got to have some star power.
Well,
in my opinion.
Granted, I mean, look, when it comes to that, I mean, look what happens in NRG. You got some of the rap industry's kings.
Yeah.
Some of the guys that helped start all this, guys like Bun B, right?
Slim Thug.
Slim Thug.
Now you got the new guy, Mexican OT. He was there the last 2 weeks ago, I believe.
Yeah, and Paul Wall. And now Paul Wall's kind of Texas famous, but hey, he's still ride or die, right? But I mean, guys like Bun B and Slim Thug, they are, they're world renowned.
Yes, sir.
And they help get people into making that kind of music.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Undoubtedly. But back to Mike C right quick. I don't think if they lose, no, sir. Taylor Swift don't have anything to do with it. They lose because they get out physical.
Oh, will she be a storyline? Absolutely. If they let her up on that little stage with him, I'm probably going to shoot my TV. No. But yeah, she's going to be a storyline at some point because,
she is who she is.
It is what it is. Yeah.
I think Frisco has a hell of a chance. I think they're very physical. Did you see they're talking about benching their new stud that came from Washington, Chase, the defensive end? They said he takes plays off. Chase, I'll find the headline in just a minute.
Yeah. No, he did that. He did that with the Commanders. He I don't know. He kind of reminds me of Jadeveon Clowney, how Jadeveon was acting. You remember Warren Sapp kind of got on his case in the beginning of his first year with us in the preseason. Like, hey, listen, young man, you're getting paid a king's salary to play a child's game.
Yes.
How about you get in the weight room and do what you need to do, right?
Right.
Because at that time we were worried, was he a bust? And he turned out, I mean, when JJ got hurt, that man played a phenomenal season and carried the team on his back. And we'll always love him for that. But look at Jadeveon now. He's kind of the same way. He will settle. Will he play another year? If somebody will pay him $13 million to play second and third down, yeah, probably. Because it's easy money.
Yes, sir. I got the headline right here. I'm going to put it on the screen in just a second. This is one of the headlines for the upcoming Super Bowl. They're saying that Chase Young.
Yeah, Chase Young, yeah.
They're saying that Chase Young is showing a lack of effort on plays and, putting all the onus on Nick Bosa. And I haven't noticed it personally. But if you've noticed it, call in and let's talk about it. But they're talking – this is the headline right here. I'll put it in two different places, on the screen and off the screen. But they're talking about benching him for the Super Bowl. I haven't noticed it. Have you seen him?
I've seen some lazy shades of Jadeveon Clowney, yeah.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, and Chase Young was the number one overall, just like Jadeveon Clowney. So I see some similarities. And there's times when you can tell he's just not really trying.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't watched that closely. Wow, that's crazy.
I'll give you another example. Bosa did it.
Bosa did it too?
Bosa did it. When he went inside and they went around him, he ran about 10 steps and then stopped and watched the guy run for a touchdown.
I didn't see that either.
Yeah.
I didn't see that either.
Go back and watch that play. I think it was their first running touchdown.
The first running
for the Lions. I think it was their first running touchdown.
The one with
where they faked
the
inside and he bit.
The
and they went the
speedster from Alabama.
And he went around the outside and Bosa ran about 10 steps and then he just kind of hands on the hips. And
okay.
If you watch it from the goal line angle, it shows him stop.
It shows him stop. I didn't see that.
So I mean, it's not a, Chase Young probably doesn't have the sack or tackle record that Bosa has.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. I haven't been impressed yet. I didn't watch him much in Washington, but I have watched him pretty closely in the tandem. I've watched the tandem. I haven't really just focused in on him and until he makes a play. He makes a play, and I'm like, okay, there he is. But he doesn't make much noise if he doesn't make a play. You don't hear.
You don't hear his name called a lot.
You hear Nick Bosa. You hear Nick Bosa was almost there. Oh, he missed the sack. You'll hear that. But you don't hear that a lot.
But you got to realize too, they talk a lot about the Bosa brothers, like they did the Watt brothers,
right?
Because it's who's better than the other, right? So that there's something to talk about. You can stir up drama and something to talk about in the NFL and something to talk about on ESPN. And
yes, sir.
It's just, and that's more, I guess, airtime things to talk about than anything else.
Air fillers is what I like to call them.
Yeah.
Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl, everybody? Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl? That's my question right now. This is the Game On Sports Talk Show on Real Talk 100 Radio. Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl? Mahomes? Mahomes, is this a dynasty for real? Are they going to win again? Is him and Travis Kelce going to be holding the trophy again? Is Reed? Is Andy Reid? Oh, Andy, is he going to win another Super Bowl? That's a hell of a coach, though.
I like Andy Reid. Always have. Look what he did. I mean, look at the people that have played for him.
Right.
Some
of everybody.
And just like, okay, well, which team?
Right.
It's like all of them.
He's been winning every place he goes. He wins. I like that dude, man. I don't care what nobody says.
That's a great one. Who was an amazing quarterback that played for Andy Reid? Top of your head. Call in or send in text. Who besides Patrick Mahomes, who was another good quarterback you like to watch from Andy Reid in his years as a coach, especially head coach?
Oh boy.
Well, where was he at? He was in this little place called Philly, right?
Was it Randall or Michael Vick?
Michael Vick.
Michael Vick
was one of them. Mike Vick, after the dog incident, left Atlanta, came back, made atonement for, what they say was his sins. It happened at his property, so he was automatically tagged. From what I read, it didn't seem like he was too
involved.
Exactly. He just had the wrong group of people around him as his entourage, in my opinion. But
yes, indeed. Mike C is still with us. He says, "Hey guys, I'm with you. You are right. You have to have star power, but Taylor Swift is taking away from the game itself.
Well, when Mike and Mike in the morning are too busy dancing around after they're pancaking, which is just I don't even know what the hell that is. But and it's like, okay, the time for the Swifties, man. This is football.
Football.
Let Entertainment TV talk about Taylor Swift. God love her. I have nothing against Taylor Swift. I love some of her music, but why in the hell are we talking about Taylor Swift on ESPN?
I don't know.
Did she cause a touchdown? Did she do a rain dance and cause an interception? I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't.
No, what it is I see James. I agree. Why don't you jump on the cast with us and let's talk? Since you come from a place with a very strong football history. My buddy James Hawk came in on my phone and I'm like, hey man, he's up in Pennsylvania, Steeltown. Steelers are making some moves OC wise. Come talk about that.
Steelers are making moves too. What did Steelers do?
They picked up somebody as an OC. They picked up a new offensive coordinator. Mike Tomlin brought in a new offensive coordinator, and I cannot remember for the life of me who it was. It wasn't noteworthy for me to put it here because we were mostly talking about the hometown teams. But until the Super Bowl's over, then we'll talk about everybody as things progress. But yeah, the Steelers in the news. Who did they bring in? They brought in somebody. There he goes, Arthur Smith, former Atlanta head coach. That's who it was.
Okay, Arthur Smith. New details. New details on Arthur Smith's contract with Steelers. New reports have resurfaced about Arthur Smith's contract with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I didn't know this. I haven't watched ESPN in a long time. New offensive coordinator.
Well, let him talk too, James. Come on.
They've agreed in principle to a deal with former Falcons head coach, but new details have emerged about what kind of contract Smith will sign. Okay. I don't have ESPN on my 3-year contract, etc. Smith was Pittsburgh's earlier. All right. Arthur Smith. I don't even remember him being in Atlanta. When was he in Atlanta?
He just got fired as the head coach
this year. Okay.
But you remember when Geno Smith and them were supposed to do the kneel down and end the game, and they went and scored a touchdown?
Yes.
He was the coach that was walking across the field screaming at the refs, calling them all kinds of names in the book.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's passionate, and Tomlin likes that. Okay.
Well, and he's a good coordinator. Head coach, I don't know. Maybe he wasn't ready. I think there was a lot that went into that too, because you go into team, you go into any place. Look what happened. We've had a couple different general managers helping us pick our players and this and that. And sometimes,
it just don't work.
You feel strong for somebody, and they turn out to be Jadeveon Clowney,
right?
Who has flares of greatness, but won't put the effort in to be great.
Right. Yeah, he's off and on. He made his career when he made that great hit in college. After that, he never did anything like that again.
Well,
your boy Zach, thank you for tuning in. Who you thought? Trap Hippie, thank you for tuning in on Instagram. Biddy28, thank you for tuning in. Y'all are very quiet on Instagram. I've had about 3 comments. Feel more than welcome to call in at our call-in number at 832-560-2885. This is the Game On Sports Talk Show on Real Talk 100 Radio, starring myself and Arthur. Go ahead with your thought.
Well, and just to key on that real quick, the goal of our show is to be like sports used to be, especially sports radio, where it's interactive. We want the city of Houston to talk to us. We want people nationwide to talk to us. It doesn't matter whether we're covering the Rockets, the Texans, and whether we're covering the World Cup. Hey, guys, this is what we want it to be because it's a fun debate. It's a great way to have a good time, get heated with each other, and then walk away at the end of the day being gentlemen and ladies and have a good time. But, yeah, I mean, now, in Jadeveon's credit, when JJ went down with his back injury, Jadeveon Clowney stepped up.
Yes, sir.
He did, because he made Whitney Mercilus look a whole lot better than he was, because Whitney Mercilus got a decent contract. They found out he was no good on that end.
No. Too light in the ass.
Oh, he was no Grenard.
Yeah.
Or Hughes, for that matter, because both of them did way better than him in the shorter time of being here.
Yes, sir.
So, what's up, Taisha? We didn't get her to go. I think she's mad at me. She probably beat me up. But, yeah, I think – all right, my Super Bowl take. My playoff takes is just Murphy's Law has just been kicking me in the teeth. But my Super Bowl takes, I'm going to say it 2 ways. Number one,
okay,
if there is a narrative to what we opened the show with,
and
Patrick Mahomes and the boys will win by 10. If not, there's a couple guys on that team on the 49ers team like Christian McCaffrey who I love to watch. There's a linebacker. I'm gonna give you his first name. You tell me his last name. His first name's Fred. Phenomenal ball players. I would like to see them win a trophy.
Warner.
Yes, I want to see him win a trophy. Good, hard playing, good community guys. And Christian McCaffrey's a freaking nature. We hadn't seen the likes of him since Eric Metcalf or Barry Sanders running the ball.
That's right.
And the dude's just a freak, and I love it.
Yeah.
You know, his dad was a decent ball player. So, if there is no narrative, you know, I'm going 49ers.
Okay.
If there is a narrative,
if the narrative that we're speaking of is the main topic of the night, are some of the games in the NFL fixed, or all of the games fixed? We're hearing it a lot around our Facebook pages, around social media. The games are fixed. The refs cheated them out of the game. That's what we're talking about tonight. That's the main topic. If you think the game is fixed, give us a call. Let's talk about it. Manuel
Alvarado's like, really? Yeah, that's what we're talking about. We're not saying it's us. If you weren't here, we spoke about something Arian Foster said on a podcast. We're also talking about what Jordan said after the Patriots lost. So there are NFL players making these comments. We're just talking about it. And the question is, what do you think? Is it possibly happening? Is it not happening? And if it is, does that explain a few things?
Because it's crazy. We made reference of a couple games. The Houston Oilers and the Buffalo Bills. Houston Oilers were supposed to walk off the field, world champions that day. And they wait a minute, was it Super Bowl? No, it was a playoff game. It was a playoff game.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, it was to go to the Super Bowl. 34-6 or 34-3. Buffalo walks the game down. That's a notable game to talk about. How in the world does that happen? Then you have Atlanta and New England. If you have another notable game that was a blowout and somebody came back and won after being 30 points down, 27 points down, let us know. But we're talking about the Oilers in Buffalo. Then we're talking about Tom Brady versus the Atlanta Falcons. I believe it was in 2017. I believe they had them blown out of the water, and they came back and won. Now, you have plays that happen in the NFL that are questionable. Like, how are you going to call that flag? You know, he was full speed ahead. He's running towards the quarterback. It's a tie game, or they're driving. The quarterback that's hit is the favorite to win, Mahomes, let's just say.
Sure.
And he's driving to either take the lead or tie the game or get close. And you throw a flag that's questionable. How do you do that? There's questions. I called it earlier. There was a play. I forgot the cornerback's name, but Patrick Mahomes was running out of the backfield, scrambling like he always does, and the cornerback runs towards the receiver that was blocking him and like purposely hit him instead of going towards Mahomes. Stuff like that happens all the time. That's why we're talking about it. You have players that Arthur has referenced that used to play ball, and they're saying it's scripted. Namely,
Arian Foster, Matthew Judon.
Arian Foster used to be the running back, tailback, a star in the league for the Houston Texans, a stud running back. He says there was a script being played right in front of our eyes. So do you believe it is the question right now?
I mean, are these guys trying to be relevant? Are they trying to make excuses for their losses? Or is there something to it? Because here's what's funny. Every time in the playoffs or every time it's a make or break and you've got this underdog team, they come out firing on all cylinders, just like Detroit did, whooping. I mean, putting on a clinic on how to put a whooping on. And then halftime. All of the Vegas numbers change, all the odds change, and then guess what? Here comes the favorite back to win. And the other team can't hold the ball, they can't juggle the ball, even though for 30 minutes they had no problem doing it. But all of a sudden after halftime, they don't know who's on first, and they can't even, it's so again, Do I? I hope not. Yes, I hope not, because those overgrown, overpaid babies, they don't even pay taxes. So I mean, my God, you can't take the realness away from us on this sport. But the question is, and I'm going to allude to what Aaron Foster said: is it just like the WWE? Is it like what happened with professional boxing? Is it that, or is this people who are trying to be relevant or trying to make excuses for the outcome of their season?
I hope to God it's wrong. I hope it's just people trying to be relevant because I love the game. I love the game. Like I said, off camera and on camera, I watch players from high school when they're named blue chippers. I watch them all the way through college and into the NFL. So if this is true, I hate to say it, but I might stop watching it if it comes out that they're rigging games. Because you got teams like Detroit that, it's all over the media. They're the heart of champions, and they're following their coach, and he's leading them to the Super Bowl, and plop, they just fall on their face. Just how that should not have happened. I no knock against Frisco, love Frisco, but they weren't playing worth the damn. They weren't playing worth the damn. It was over.
Even Christian McCaffrey's they were covering him well. I mean, the Detroit Lions were just playing some great ball.
Yeah.
Because a guy like Christian McCaffrey, when you're a freak of nature, you're going to get open. It's the same thing with Kelsey. Kelsey's going to get open. You know what I mean? So, but it's all the other stuff that makes you sit back and go, are you serious?
Are you serious? H-Town boy JP says Des Bryant said something about it being scripted.
I see my boy Des. That's right. I didn't even think about that. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, that because hey, Des Bryant, there was a play. Help me out. Help me out here. What's his screen name?
H-Town boy JP.
All right, JP, listen, I'm just going to call you JP, make it short. Help me out because Des Bryant, there was a controversial call in the playoffs. Des Bryant was the receiver. What was the narrative there? Very similar to what we're talking about, right?
What, when he caught the ball and it was on his back and he was juggling it and they said he didn't catch it? That one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That exact play.
I think that was against Green Bay.
I don't remember who it was. Because I'm not a Dallas Cowboys fan, but I love Des Bryant. Right? The same thing. I like and we're going to talk about some rumors in a little bit, but there's rumors regarding Dak Prescott and the Chicago Bears. But I've always been a Des Bryant fan.
Dak is rumored to be going to the
Well, there's some trade rumors regarding them and some things. The first, believe it or not, mock draft is out, and Chicago's going to have they're choosing Chicago to take that quarterback from USC. What was his name? The one that does the Chick-fil-A commercials. Help me out, H-Town. Who is that does the Chick-fil-A commercials?
It was Green Bay. I have it. It's
Green Bay. Yeah,
it's Green Bay.
Put that play up there. Let's see.
I'm gonna try to get it. I'm gonna try to steal.
I mean, he's no Michael Irvin, but he was as close to Michael Irvin as anybody in Dallas has ever had. Because Michael Irvin was a beast.
I'm gonna try to get it on the screen. Well, I can't get the picture we want.
See if they have the video of the play.
I'd have to download it. I'll try to download it right now. I'll try to get it right here. It was on the screen a second ago. But yeah, y'all, feel free to call in. This is the play right here.
There it is right there.
I'll try to get it on the screen in just a second if I can, if they give me the option to save the video, report, manage, follow.
Just
copy.
make it bigger and back it up. It's right there.
See if I can copy link. Yeah, but I can't play it on here. I have to, let me see if I can download it right quick. And we'll go from there. Let me get this off the screen, get off there.
Angela, where are you, Rob V, and the guys from Texas Best? We were just talking about you guys a few minutes ago, and the Humble Civic Center and the cook-off.
Angela Vieira is on the screen?
She's on mine.
She's on yours?
Yeah, she said, hey. Malcolm said, hey, y'all need to get over here on this broadcast.
Okay, I found it. Let me see if I can get it downloaded right quick. Let me see. It should be right here. Did Des Bryant make this catch? 4K. Oh, come on. Don't do me like this. It's hiding from me, y'all.
I mean, from what I remember watching, I thought that was a catch.
I thought it was, too.
I thought he made a football move, and you know.
Was that a catch, everybody in the listening audience? Dez Bryant. The year was, I didn't get the year. I'll get it in a minute. I'm searching for the video right now. Did Dez Bryant make the catch? Yes. I mean, it was undoubtedly a catch, in my opinion. You can also call in with your opinion on the upcoming Super Bowl. Will it be Frisco? Or will the dynasty continue with Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and company?
Just propping you and Rob. And
so that is what the topics are tonight. And last but not least, are they fixing games in the NFL? Are they fixing games in the NFL? Or do they have a favorite? Do they want big names in the Super Bowl and not the little names? That's another topic tonight. Go ahead.
Well, here's the thing. If and I'm not saying it's true before y'all slam me with all these comments, but if it is true, even once, what does that do to the integrity of the Hall of Fame and some of the players picked and some of the players that have been looked over? Because there are some truly phenomenal players that never made it into that Hall of Fame.
Never made it.
Back because of popularity, right?
I think so. I mean, some of those arguments you can't even dispute. Like, how does that happen?
Well, look what happened in baseball. Billy Wagner, guys. Billy Wagner was on the ballot. It's his ninth and last chance to get into the Hall of Fame. He missed it by 5 votes. Five votes. And Billy Wagner had a great career here. We did not want to see him leave, but he went elsewhere and played in some really big games and had a great record. How he did not make the Hall of Fame is beyond me.
It won't let me. It says, whoa, you've got a lot of files. Each brand is limited to 100 images. Please delete some. Okay, so maybe I got too much up here. Let me see if I can delete something and get this play up here. We're talking about the Dez Bryant catch or no catch, y'all. Let me get this over here.
All right, while he's doing that, I was telling you guys about the Astros. We'll talk about the Astros real quick while he's doing some technical stuff. But so the Astros, among the Astros international class of 2024, they picked up 2 Cuban outfielders, Cesar Hernandez and Luis Rivas Hernandez. Sources say that they got $1.7 million in signing bonuses. Hernandez is a left-hand hitter. Rivas is a 19-year-old switch hitter. They also picked up Franchelli Silverio. He's 17 for the Dominican Republican infielder. He agreed to $672,000 in signing bonuses. Other players that the organization that are now joining the Astros organization after this international, Alexi Vercois. He's 17-year-old catcher from Venezuela. Amari Ramirez, a 16-year-old outfielder from Lancaster, PA, who moved to the Dominican. That's something else. We have the Little League Baseball World Series, all this and that. But if you are in a non-competitive area in high school and you want to get into college and play professional baseball, the place to go is the Dominican Republic. Mm-hmm. I think that's amazing. Mm-hmm. They picked up he's from Santiago, the Dominican Republic as well. Christian we got a call coming in.
Welcome to Game On Sports Talk Show. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with tonight?
It's Angela.
Hey, Angela, how's it going?
Good. Sorry, we just got home because Robert's iPhone broke.
Well, guys, this is a friend of the show, Angela Vieira, and she's talking about her husband, Rob V. Both of them, Rob is an international recording artist, and they are both members of the Texas Finest Smokers, who put on one heck of a show at the cook-off.
Yes, ma'am.
I was hoping that you guys had fun.
Oh yes, most definitely.
It took me an hour to find you.
It took an hour for him to find me. I was all over that joint.
Yeah. Arthur was like, "Hey, has anybody seen Malcolm?" We're like, "No, we haven't seen him."
Man, he was over there. What was the guys called? The heavy music guys. He was
heavyweight music.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
with them, man. I was like, wow.
I was up there at the stage getting shots poured in my mouth by the band. Who was the band again?
Was it Grupo Vital? Oh yeah, Grupo Vital.
Oh yeah, they were up there pouring shots in our mouths and everything. I was having a blast. Yes, ma'am. Talk a little.
Arthur said that you were a groupie.
A group. Yeah, I was a group. I was a groupie that night.
Oh, hold up. I did not say that. I did not say that.
No.
Angela,
What?
do me
How
a
did you
favor.
say it? You said that he was up there like he was, but I know you said he was being a fan.
No, I said he was up there dancing with them.
Oh, with them. Oh, I apologize.
Angela, do me a favor and let everybody know about the delicious barbecue that Texas Finest Smokers. Tell our listening audience all about that barbecue that they serve over there. While I have their logo on the screen, tell them about how they can get catering and eat what we ate that night.
And their truck location.
Oh yes. So I believe. Hold on, I'm gonna have to go back and look at my message because I can't remember off the top of my head what their address is, but yeah. So Texas Finest Smokers are located in I believe Porter. Yeah. That's not the one I was looking for. They actually that was their first year doing it on their own. They actually were teamed up with another team the last I'm gonna say the last 3 years because we've been going probably to Humble Cook-Off for like maybe the last 5. So the last 4 years, they were with a different team. So this actually was the first time that Texas Finest Smokers did it on their own. The address to the location is 23569 FM 1485, New Caney, Texas 77357. And they're open Monday through Sunday. Oh, no, sorry, Monday through Saturday. I think they're closed on Sundays.
Okay.
And if they would like to call in for catering, they can call my cousin Joseph. And his number is 832-312-5971.
Give me that number one more time. 832-312.
5971.
832-312-5971. You can find their You can find their location at 23669 FM 1485, correct?
It's 569.
235.
2356. Yeah.
Okay. And
23569.
okay. Texas Finest Smokers has some of the best barbecue in Houston, y'all. I'm showing you a picture on the screen right now with them holding their trophies up, y'all. Award-winning barbecue, and I can't wait to eat this potato salad because we didn't get a chance to taste it the other night. But he says this.
Yeah, they ran out of food by the time you guys got there. We ran out of food 3 times.
3 times. Wow.
Well, that's
yeah.
to the chef, right?
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, their food is really good.
So you missed it earlier. We were telling the Cuban Diva was out there.
Yeah.
Of course, I talked about K-Dog, obviously Rob V. Grupo Vidal was out there. The heavyweight music. Who did we forget? I know there was a whole lot of who out there.
Yeah, so Jessica Jeans from 97.9, The Box, she was there.
That's right.
Also, TDM or Them Damn Mexicans, the brand. So David Diaz was out there.
Awesome. David Diaz, shout out to David Diaz of Them Damn Mexicans. Love that dude. That dude is everywhere. K-Dog is everywhere. Matter of fact, I have a picture of K-Dog. If you guys need a host, anybody in the listening audience, you need a host for your upcoming events, K-Dog is the man to call, y'all. K-Dog is there he is right there. I'll get it on the screen in a minute as soon as this computer leaves me alone for a second.
Yeah, he's definitely the hype man. He's now so what was so funny was 4 years ago Friday, on the 20, what was it, the 26th, right? Friday was the 26th. So 4 years ago Friday, they actually catered Rob and Overflow's music video, Crown or Champagne. They came out and catered when we were actually videotaping, and it was so funny because actually K-Dog did a commercial for them at the actual venue where we were recording that music video.
Awesome. Champagne and what?
Crown or Champagne?
Crown and champagne.
Crown or Champagne?
Crown.
Yeah, the one that Rob and Omar or Overflow
Yes,
with Overflow.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
We played that when y'all were here. And
Hmm.
it's an awesome song. I love that song by them guys. I really, really, really wish that song would get traction. I think that's a hit.
Yes, yes. So yeah, and it actually got played on Friday at the cook-off. But and Robert was so excited. We have a little recording of it, so it was cool.
Hey, was he lit?
He was lit. Everybody was actually K Dog actually he did a skit with the song playing in the background. I don't know if he's got an opportunity to post it. He may have lost some of his content because remember his iPhone broke too.
Right, I remember that.
He cracked his screen.
I remember that. I have Rob V on the page now. This is Rob V. This is who Angela Vieira is talking about right here, y'all. If you can scan the QR code, go and listen to the song that she's referring to now. Tell them which song to look at again.
Crown and Champagne.
It is Crown or Champagne.
Crown or Champagne. Go to www.robvmusic.com or go and check out the song on YouTube right now and follow Rob V Music. That's who we're talking about. His music was played live at the Texas Finest Cook-Off at the Humble Civic Center over the past weekend. That's what we're talking about right now. Y'all make sure you go and patronize this small business I have on the screen right now. Texas Finest Smoker. There's the logo, and there's all the information down below. Go and enjoy this award-winning barbecue at 23569 FM 1485, New Caney, Texas. For catering and any inquiries, call Joseph, the owner, at 832-312-5971. If you're a small business owner and you'd like to be highlighted on this show, all you got to do is text promo to 346-779-5831. Thank you, Angela, for calling in. Is there anything else you wanted to say tonight?
So I was just wondering because like they've been posting a lot of like stuff on like all the social media, how they were saying like the logos for like the Super Bowl kind of determine who, like they kind of already know who's gonna be playing. Do y'all think that's true?
Now, Sal, see, there was a radio station out of Canada. I have to look it up real quick, but they were what is it? Hold on, I'll tell you here in a second.
A radio station said the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Out of Canada, it's like Sharon Network or something. It's spelled the same that the Bugatti is, but yeah, they had mentioned a little while back that who was going to be there. Coincidentally, they mentioned Reba McEntire, Usher being part of the halftime show, who just recently got mentioned as part of the halftime show. So yeah, that was another one of those what kind of conversations.
What?
But yeah.
So Angela, you believe it's a conspiracy in the NFL too, huh?
You know what? I think that I don't know. Maybe they based it off of popularity and who they think is going to bring in the most money. But I mean, they also say that about baseball. You know what I'm saying? Like whenever the Astros won the World Series, what was the first thing they came out and said? Oh, they cheated and da 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 da, and like they kind of made a big stink about it. But
the fact that they cheated was true. The only thing that wasn't brought to light was that so was everybody else. The Bombers were doing it, even though they were pointing fingers. The Dodgers were doing it. And if you're a Dodgers fan, I don't care. They're weak. They spent most of their time blaming their next year's season failures on the Astros. So get over it, move around. But yeah, that was the big deal with that, is that there were other teams doing it, just nobody talking about it.
Right.
So overall,
yeah.
So you think that the games are rigged? When we hear it on Facebook all the time. I'm sure you see it on your timeline all the time. Oh, the refs are cheating. Do you really?
Yes.
Do you really think that's going down?
I think in the back end, I think that there's maybe some money movement that's kind of paying their path to get in these type of positions. And if you think about it, they're going to get their money back because, like this year that it's in Vegas, of course, all the bets that are going to be done, all of the tourism of people going to Vegas to watch the game. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that people pay into, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, maybe I could be wrong. Like these teams I'm not saying that the teams are bad players. I mean, they've accomplished what they've accomplished through the season. But I don't know. A part of me kind of feels like I think that there's kind of some money movement that causes these teams to be in the positions that they're in. I don't think it's so much like 100% talent.
Okay, so that makes me want to ask you a question, Angela. First of all, do you support the Cowboys?
What? Do I support the Cowboys?
Yeah, the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm. My mom's a huge Cowboy fan, but I'm a Texan at heart. So
okay, so now that with you saying that, if there's any validity to that, now your mom and them boys fans have a chance to go back and say, you see, and we'll never hear them stop whining. But anyway.
Right. Yes, I know. You know what's so funny though is like, my mom's not really big on bragging about her Cowboys. Like even if they win or lose, she's always going to be a fan, but she's not really big on bragging. But I know a lot of Cowboy fans that are big braggers.
Well, in your mom's defense, when they spent about 20 years choking in the playoffs, you kind of be humble, just a little bit. We went through it with the Oilers. We know. Trust me, we know.
Yep.
Angela, before we release the phone line, I have to ask you a question. Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl this year? Is Kansas City going to is this really their season again for the 5th time in 6 years, or will San Francisco upset them? Who do you think is going to win?
I'm going to go with the underdog, and I'm going to say, because I know right now they're kind of pointing at, I'm going to go with the 49ers.
There you go.
Why? Just because?
I don't know. I've always kind of been the person that, like, I will vote to see, like, I always want to cheer on the ones that they think are not going to win. So I don't know. I just feel like the 49ers are defensively, I kind of feel like they're a little bit. It's gonna be a match. It's gonna be a real good match. I think defensively, I think they're coming out of a good place.
All right. So one, you love a great storyline because that's what you said. You're cheering for the underdog, the small engine that could sort of, so to speak. But at the same time, you're right. San Francisco has a great defense. Even though D'Amico Ryans left them as their quarterback, he put a pretty good squad on, and so did Kansas City. So that's going to be awesome.
And I remember one time I was talking to a coworker of mine, and he was like, the defense actually are the ones that actually win Super Bowls. They're the ones that they're the one that keeps the ball in play, and if you got a good defense, they're the ones that win Super Bowls. So I don't know. I'm thinking the 49ers might just be a tad bit a little bit more better than the other team.
Who's your favorite player on each team?
Ooh, I don't know. The one thing I'm not good at is at names, Malcolm. You can't put me on the spot like that. I bet. Now that we have a whole new Texas team, like I'm having to learn everybody's name. Now you're gonna oh no, like don't. I've never been good with names.
I'm gonna jump in and bail you out, Angela. I just whispered to him. Okay, on the 49ers, your pick for the best player on the 49ers was Taylor Swift.
I'm sorry, I am not a Taylor Swift fan. I apologize to the Swifties.
Oh, they're going to be coming up here with pitchforks in a little bit, burning us out of this book.
I know, right? They're going to be like, who's that girl? We don't like her.
All right, I'll share mine. From the 49ers, it's going to be Christian McCaffrey, hands down. Who's my favorite player on the Chiefs? None of them. Who's the best player? Snead.
Snead
Yeah.
over Mahomes.
Yeah,
What?
that guy had a lot of touchdowns in an entire season. I think he's outplayed Mahomes for his position.
What?
Yeah.
Snead.
What about
over
Chris
Mahomes.
Jones?
Chris Jones, defensive ends.
Because let me tell you what, he stopped. He stopped Baltimore by himself.
Chris Jones, he did. He was all over. He was all over Jackson, man. He was
And
all over
Lamar's
Lamar.
no joke. So I mean, yeah.
Right. He was all over Lamar. Okay. Thank you, Angela. We're coming down to the end of We're coming down to the end of the show tonight. Thank you so much for calling in. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah, no, like I said, I wanted to call in and say thank you guys both for coming out and hanging out with us. I seriously really appreciate it. I really hope that you guys had a good time, and we'll definitely let you know whenever we do. I believe that they're doing the Pasadena cook-off, but I haven't gotten confirmation on that. But either way, I'll let you guys know whatever we get involved in, and of course, you guys are welcome to come and hang out with us.
Well, pass on to Joe since his lovely wife Esther said, "Hey, we're going to do some potato salad."
Yes.
Maybe we run a poll this week or next week and get whoever wins come up and join us for this taste testing.
Oh, absolutely.
And we're gonna have to do a show with Rob V singing to our listening audience one of these times too.
Well,
yeah, he said that's a 100.
Funny story. We talked about the battle. We talked about getting together. I asked Rob if he'd come out and play and sing live at the event. He was like, "Heck yeah." Has that changed, Angela?
Yes.
Over the background.
Yes.
We'll have to get. We'll have.
Yes. Yeah. We'll make plans. I got you, Malcolm.
All right.
All right. There we go. You guys heard it. We're gonna have Rob V. We're gonna talk about that event a little bit too here in a minute before we go off.
This is who we're talking about right here, listening audience. Whether you're on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, or Facebook, this is the artist we're talking about right here, Rob V Music. Everybody, y'all go and give him a follow on all of the platforms: YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. If you're able to scan that QR code or go to his website, it's much easier at www.robvmusic.com. That's what we're talking about having on the show, singing live R&B music to you. And we're probably going to have him and other artists come through and sing to you. We don't want it to get too raunchy on this show. We're looking for sponsors. If you'd like to sponsor the Game On Sports Show, all you got to do is text sponsor to 346-779-5831 or email us at realtalk100radio with 3 O's at gmail.com. And we'll be glad to have you as a part of our team. Thank you, Angela, again for calling in tonight.
Sure. Thank you, guys. Y'all have a great one. Y'all be careful getting home.
Good night.
Good night.
All right. Who wins the Super Bowl? It's my time, y'all. It's my time. My co-host already said who his choice is. My heart and my mind are two different entities, of course. I have to go, with the way games are being played by Patrick Mahomes. I saw an article earlier today, and it said, why do we keep questioning this guy? It's just like I did myself with the GOAT, Tom Brady. How do you bet against somebody who does nothing but win, no matter who his team is, no matter who his wide receivers are, no matter who his coach is? Not true enough. Coaches make a big difference. You had Belichick with Tom Brady, and you got Andy Reid with Patrick Mahomes, arguably two of the best coaches of all time. Andy Reid has a hell of a track record with every team he's been with. Bill Belichick has a hell of a track record in New England and wherever else he played as a defensive coordinator, wherever else he coached as a defensive coordinator. Coaches have a lot to do with this. The scheme of the team's offenses has a lot to do with it. But how do you keep questioning this guy? He keeps winning. So my mind says undoubtedly he wins again. With that defense is playing like a bunch of rabid dogs. The defense, you mentioned a shutdown cornerback. They have a defensive end and some players around him. I can't name them all on that defensive line and the linebacking core, but they're playing like rabid dogs.
Definitely, their front four can get to anybody by themselves.
Yes. They're shutting teams down. They shut down arguably the best player all year in Lamar Jackson. Shut him down, made him look like a high school kid. and I hated to see that. But now you go against Brock Purdy. Can Brock Purdy run the ball like he did on Detroit? Can he do that and pull the upset off? My heart says yes. Boy, I was cheering for him. I couldn't believe he was running the ball like that. He looked awesome, man. I mean, that dude was pulling rabbits out of the hat. He was throwing the ball. The fluke pass that was supposed to be picked off and landed in IU's hands. Now that was a fluke. But the rest of the game, Brock played a damn good ball game, man. He did. So shortening who I say is going to win, my mind says you can't stop Patrick Mahomes. Why bet against him? Why? At this point, especially when he has a defense playing like rabid dogs. My heart says San Francisco has a hell of a ball team. They have a hell of a running game. They have big wide receivers in Ayuk and Debo. They have a hell of a running game in CMC. They can hang in there and pull an upset, and I'm cheering for them.
Well, I want to say something to one of your comments. First of all, how can you bet against Patrick Mahomes? It's easy because Patrick Mahomes can have a horrible game, and the other 52 men on that team can bring him up. But it's kind of like NASCAR, right? Everybody knows Dale Earnhardt. Everybody knows those drivers. Nobody knows the name of the crew chief. And the reason I mentioned NASCAR is they all have to have the same motor, same curb weight, same everything, tires, top to bottom, except different decals and different logos. Cars have to be the same. The only difference from one car to the next is that crew chief that tunes the car.
The crew chief that tunes the car, okay?
So, like I said, I agree with you. Patrick Mahomes is a phenomenal player. Kelsey's going to have a big game for them to win. And getting back to Brock Purdy, let me tell you something. Brock Purdy was so surprised at what he did. And they're, again, getting away from the narrative. They stopped going the Christian McCaffrey route. They stopped their bread and butter, right? I don't know why they did that, but they did. And I think Brock Purdy surprised himself so much. Did you see the interview at the end? The first thing the man did for the first time since he's been playing ball is just, thank you, Lord Jesus.
I saw that.
You know, he's talking about a man who surprised himself. And hey, listen, I have a faith in God too. But when the man has done none of that, and at the end of it, running for his life, he's like, wait a minute, I got a first down.
Yeah.
And the first thing he did is, Lord, thank you for this game.
Yeah,
right?
I laughed too. I was like, yeah, because he's never run that much. He looked like Lamar Jackson. I'm like, look at this dude.
And he has nowhere near the wheels.
No.
So when you have a pursuit front seven, the way Detroit does, very, very similar to Chris Jones and the boys over in KC, can Brock Purdy get it done? Absolutely.
I think he can. Man.
We don't want him to run. Give the ball to Christian McCaffrey. Let him take care of the ball, please.
Yeah.
You worry about doing your passes and doing your timing routes. That's what you're good at. Manage the game. Let your studs and workhorses do their job. Stay in your lane. Play your game. That's how they're going to win. It's the only way they're going to win. He does that against Kansas City, they're going to have a backup quarterback out there because Chris Jones is going to tee off on him.
Right.
And it's going to get ugly fast because that defense is just like the Ravens defense, and they are seek and destroy. They believe in playing violent and fast.
Yes, sir.
And they will tell you that. They play violent and fast.
Yes, sir. Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Yeah. And honestly, I'm gonna stick with Brock Purdy because the guy is having a
phenomenal.
I don't think there's a word for it. The way he wound up in the driver's seat. Because I mean, honestly, who in their mind thought Brock Purdy was going to be a starting quarterback anywhere in the NFL? He was going to be a career backup.
Yeah.
And this guy is not only playing with poise, confidence. He found some legs last week, and he found Jesus. I mean, seriously,
the same game?
You want to go? Who can beat Patrick Mahomes? The kid that never could, that's doing it every day.
Man, that kid, is playing hell of a
Because let me tell you something, he's playing above his game.
Yes, indeed.
And like I said, that's not no joke. He found Jesus that game because he was doing things he's never done.
Never.
I mean, I think he's the last from running from the field to the locker room to go home for the day.
Right.
And he was out running people.
Right.
But he was running for his life too.
Right.
So yeah, that's hats off to Brock Purdy. I'm going to stick with the 49ers just because I want to see the underdog win. I'm going to follow Angelo's narrative.
Follow.
We'll see.
Angela, he's following you. He's following you. I hate straddling the fence, but I couldn't call this to save my life. I really believe Frisco has a hell of a chance to pull an upset, but I couldn't dispute what I heard. I think it was Shannon Sharp. Said it on First Take or something. Why do y'all keep betting against this dude? He does nothing but win. You match up, you say Lamar is the MVP, you say such and such is the MVP. The other year it was Philadelphia, right? Philadelphia was on a tear, and Mahomes beats them, and da 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 da. Why do you keep betting against this man? Shannon Sharp said it, and it made me think. I'm like, I said the same thing when Tom Brady was playing, because I'm a gambler. I'll get online and I gamble, and damn near every week I'm going, why did I bet against this dude?
Because when you hit that ticket, you're gonna hit big.
You're gonna hit big.
That's right. That's that fool's chase, and I'm with you on that. But at the same time, with all due respect to Shannon Sharp, Shannon, you ought to come on our show. By the way, we'd love to have you. There's something to be said about the heart, and when things didn't go Patrick's way while they were in their losing streak, he showed his butt. Sorry, he showed his butt. And look, yeah, you're a good quarterback. No one's going to take that away from you. You have great weapons. You probably have the best fire drill team in the league, which I think every one of Andy Reid's team has been really good at those kind of scenarios, the broken plays. But the thing is Patrick Mahomes has made a career of it. And he's had phenomenal people. Like, again, look at that catch that Kelsey made. I mean, had he not just twisted enough, that was an incomplete pass.
Right.
And again, getting back to the narrative, just to stir the pot, look what's happened. And here's the thing. Look at what Vegas is putting the spread on the game. If they thought that Patrick Mahomes was going to walk in there and they were going to kick that door down.
Have you seen it?
Yes, it would not be what it is.
Have you seen it?
It's a lot tighter than what I thought.
Hold on.
Bring it up. It's a lot tighter than what I thought.
Hold on. What is the spread on the Super Bowl this year? 1.5. $1.5 points.
That is not a whole lot of room for margin of error. That's about as dead close as it's going to get.
I'm teasing the hell out of that bet. 6 points. So I'm gonna have 7.5.
And
Super Bowl.
And here, well, you know what? You ain't got to pick a team. Go beat that spread. You're gonna make a lot of money.
You're saying bet straight up.
But here's the thing.
I'll just do a parlay.
Vegas is telling you this is gonna be a defensive game.
Yeah, undoubtedly. It's man. If it's a 30-27 game, I'm gonna be highly disappointed because it should not be a shootout. It should be more like a 23-20. 23-17, 24-21, at the most 24-21. I don't see 27 nothing.
Honestly, I don't see it more. Like I said, again, back to my statement. If there's some truth to this, then it's a 10-point game.
10-point game.
If not, it's 3 or less.
Who is Vegas thinking going to win? Kansas City. They think Kansas City is going to win by 1.5 or more. They're giving San Francisco 1.5 points. That's what Vegas is doing right now. So it should be a nail biter, y'all. It should be. I can't wait. I'm gonna be front seat and center. I'm gonna have a cooler full of ice cold beer.
Vegas is. Help me if I'm wrong, Mr. Gambler. Vegas is very clear and they're brutal when it comes to it. They think you're gonna get smoked. They're gonna put them odds out there.
Yeah,
because they're gonna take the fool's bet, and then everybody else that was smart enough not to go against it is gonna make a little bit of money.
Right. Because
the house is gonna clean up.
Yes, sir. I can't wait, y'all. I can't wait. We're gonna have more shows. We're gonna have more shows. We want Angela and everybody who's watched us tonight on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook. If you've watched us tonight, become a fan of our show. We're growing. This is on our 3rd show. This is my co-host Arthur in the middle of the screen right here. We're looking for sponsors. We want to get in the ears of Academy and Foot Locker and Nike. We want to get in the ears of old Shay Shay. I want his bourbon to be sitting right in the middle of this table.
And what's cool, help me if I'm wrong here, you have this is a 501c, right?
Yes.
So everything you do to sponsor this station is tax deductible.
Yes.
Well, we want to show, like back before John McClain got proud of himself and was a wishy-washy, flippy-floppy. Because back in the day, he was only like that with people like Ken Stabler.
Right.
Other than that, he was pretty much a straight-up guy. Their shows were all interactive. Fans were coming in. I mean, you could hear people screaming so bad, they were spitting all over the phone.
Right.
That's the kind of show we want. Everybody involved.
Everybody involved.
I'd rather see two guys duke it out with us as the moderators.
I love it. I'm gonna be posting in if it's Frisco and KC, it's Frisco and KC playing the Super Bowl. I'm gonna be posting our show all in their fan groups.
Exactly. So lock your votes in, guys. Who are you calling? And let's lock it in. Let's call it. All right. I'm calling San Francisco. If I lose, I'll do the 22-day challenge right here on the show. Push-ups. Knock it out.
22-day challenge. I can't do no challenge.
Anybody want to take my bet?
Anybody want to take his bet?
Anybody on Facebook want to take my bet?
Angela says, I wonder who Mattress Mac is betting on in the Super Bowl.
The Astros.
And yeah, he's gonna bet on Astros. I don't know. He knowing him, he'll bet on Frisco. Knowing him, he'll bet on Frisco.
I mean, I don't know, because I'm concerned about Mattress Mag lately here, because he went from Mattress Mag, the gallery furniture guy, to when did he become an OG
Swisher
with the
House.
Bloods?
Yeah, he came.
I mean, it's like, what?
He's with Swisher House now. Yeah, I saw that.
But that's all right, because I know the representation. Matter of fact, we need to get him on the show.
Mattress Mac would be a nice look. Yes, sir.
Harvey House, brother, if you're listening, I know you check up on my page every now and then. He was just showing something where he was over, voting with the Grammys last time we talked. Hey, Harvey, we'd love to have you come out, talk about your people, talk about who you represent. He used to have his own show with Dan Patrick, and that's where he made his start, was on AM radio here in Houston, before he started representing acts and stuff. So I'd love to have Harvey House join us up here. That would be awesome. So Harvey, if you're listening, man, come on.
Thank you, man. Thank you for such a great show, Arthur. Thank you for all the likes. Thank you for all the likes, all the shares, all the comments. Thank you for the call in, Angela. Thank you for the reference. Thank you for referring all of our listening audience to Texas Finest Smokers. We tagged them. We hope they're watching as well. If it's not live, it's on the replay. We love those folks. They gave us a good time over the past weekend. I'm going to show you a picture of them one more time before we get out of here tonight. Award-winning barbecue by the Texas Finest Smokers right here on the screen, everybody. Make sure you get out at some point. You get out to Porter, Texas, and look for this logo at the following address. I'm going to put the address up here in just a second. Thank you again, though, Angela. Thank you for giving us a good time, showing us a good time over the weekend, along with the Texas Finest Smokers.
And since we're talking about friends of the show, listen, guys, you heard Malcolm earlier say, if you're a small business owner, veteran business owner, guys, listen, put your information out there. Come join us in the conversations, because as we talked over the weekend, if you're going to come in and say, I'm a small business person and support our show and get in the conversation with us, well, what we're going to do for the next 24 hours, we're going to remind the city of Houston and all of our listeners who you are and what you do. And that's just a thank you from us. So let's grow together. That's kind of the point of that. Let's grow together. We're in the third largest city in the nation. We should definitely have, at some point, we want to be big enough that Payne and Pendergast are calling us to be guests on their show, because they hadn't figured out how to get the audience participation right.
Yeah, man, that would be a dream come true, baby. A dream come true. It would be. Thank you again, everybody, for tuning in tonight. I wish I could sit around here and talk about sports all night, sports and barbecue and cold beer on Super Bowl Sunday, but we got to get out of here for tonight, y'all, get ready for tomorrow. Thank y'all again for the likes, the shares, the comments, no matter what platform you tuned in on. I see y'all are tuning in late on Instagram. Thank you, Lady Mob. Thank you for tuning in, Lady Mob, and Yumiko.2. Thank y'all for tuning in. But this has brought us to a close to Game On Sports Talk Show on Real Talk 100 Radio. We want y'all to tune in every Tuesday night from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock right here on Real Talk 100 Radio. You can tune in several different ways. You can tune in on Twitter. You can tune in on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. Click the play button, and we're on, y'all. We're going to talk about sports, more sports next week. Good night, everybody.
Hey, man, H is up. We'll see you, Houston.
Well, hold on. Throw your H's again. I didn't have you on the screen. H is up, baby. We'll see y'all soon on the
No
Game
matter
On
who's in the
Sports Talk
Super
Show.
Bowl, we are Texans, right?
That's right. Texans for life. Good night, everybody.
Okay, buddy. No, 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 no,